In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the accessory that you cannot leave home without if you're shooting portraits. Welcome back to The Breakdown. My name is Miguel Quiles. It is a really cold day out here in New Jersey. I am outside with Weronika, and we're going to shoot some headshots and some portraits outdoors. And so you might be wondering, like I said in the beginning of this video, what is the one accessory that you just can't leave home without if you're shooting portraits? And guess what it is? It is a reflector. This is the most important thing. If you're starting out and shooting portraits and you're going to be doing a lot of outdoors, even in studio, you're going to be shooting portraits, you have to use a reflector. And I'm going to show you why. So we're going to take some portraits. I'm going to show you what it looks like with and without the reflector, and you decide, you let me know which one you think turns out to be better. So let's get started. We're going to shoot some portraits today with the A6500 from Sony, and I have it paired up with my personal favorite portrait lens, which is the 100mm 2.8 STF lens. Lens, when you're shooting it wide open, does a beautiful job of blurring out the background while still retaining a ton of texture and detail in your subject's face. So that's what we're going to be shooting with, and of course we have our silver reflector. Now there's a couple of things that I want you to understand. A lot of times when people are using reflectors for the first time, they use them incorrectly because they bring the reflector too far down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one picture without the reflector. We're going to do one where the reflector is there but it's not in the right spot, and then we're going to do one with the reflector in the right position so we can see where it actually needs to be. So Weronika, do one without the reflector. So we'll put that one down. And for our settings, let's talk about the settings. We've got f5.6, we have an ISO of 400 and a shutter speed of 1/500. Now you might be asking, why such a fast shutter speed if she's not moving? To be honest with you, I want to make sure that I have these shots tack sharp and in focus. I'm more interested in doing that than having my ISO be really low and having to shoot at a lower shutter speed that might have some shake of the camera. So at 1/500th, I know we're going to be sharp. Every image, if she happens to move or I move, everything's going to be really nice and sharp. So we're going to take this first shot without the reflector. And we're actually using kind of like the natural surroundings as a reflector. So we're actually getting, even though it's really cloudy and overcast right now, we are getting some natural bounce from the ground. The problem is that it also is acting as a little bit of a absorber of light, because it's not perfectly white, it's not gray, it's not reflecting a ton of light, but the light it is reflecting is not a very pleasing color. So if you see her skin tone, it's not going to be the most pleasant skin tone with this light bouncing off the ground. So what I want you to do now is we're going to bring in the reflector, and I want you to bring it in at like waist level. This is what I see a lot of photographers doing. If they shoot close-up portraits, they'll have the reflector really low. And while it does help a little bit in terms of not bouncing light off the ground, you're going to see what this setup here looks like. All right, so there's my shot. So what you're going to notice with this particular shot, you are getting a little bit more illumination on the face, which is great. What I tend to look for in my portraits is to get beautiful catch lights in the eyes. And unfortunately, because the reflector is so low, you're not actually getting to see a lot of the catch lights in the eyes. So what we're going to do to fix that is we're going to bring the reflector up. So let's bring it up to about chest level. It's great. Settings are going to stay exactly the same. And again, because I'm shooting wide open, we're getting this like exceptionally beautiful blurry background. But where this lens really shines is that you get a lot of texture in the skin, which is pretty awesome. And actually, this is kind of a good point to make as well. Depending on how your model is posing, if they put their chin up, you're going to lose the catch light. Now, you might be asking, or you might be thinking, if you're shooting this outdoors and it's really bright outside, how would that change things? What I would end up doing to try to replicate this look is to find shade, put the model in the shade, and again, do this exact same setup, bring the reflector in, and you're going to get really, really beautiful portraits that are tack sharp and interesting to look at. All right, everybody, so that is the accessory that you cannot leave home without if you're going to be shooting portraits. They're really inexpensive, but they go a very, very long way in just adding extra oomph and extra drama to your portraits. Let me know what questions you guys have about reflectors, shooting in natural light. If I didn't cover it in this video, I may cover it in a future video, so I'd love to hear that in the comment section below. While you're down there, check out the description because Weronika's social media channels are linked in the description. So make sure you follow her, check out the new work that she's involved in. Also make sure that you follow me on social media as well. Subscribe here to Adorama TV. They have a lot of great content they're putting out every single week, as well as the Adorama Learning Center. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of The Breakdown. I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.